Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great holiday shortened market week. Today is September 9th, 2022, and this is your Friday planning update. In the coming weeks, I'm going to start a multi-part series on what we need to accomplish before the end of the year. Q4 will be a busy time, so as we do our meetings and make our plans, I'll outline a few items that we should not ignore. Watch for that series starting soon. Today, I want to come back and give you a few more details on the student loan forgiveness program and what many people are overlooking as one of the game-changing parts of the plan. If the student loan plan is not something you're interested in, you'll be able to shut the video off early, but before I get there, let's preview some of the other important planning ideas that we've got. We'll get into this more in the coming series on Q4 planning, but let me just touch on one item that you'll start to hear about from us and from others: required minimum distributions. Yes, those things, you've heard about a lot about those from us and from me over the years, but this is the time that Rebecca, my father, and myself review how you've done this year in satisfying the RMD for 2022. We do ask that if you have RMDs from other assets or held at other places, you start to gather those as well. Remember that the IRS does not look favorably on RMD that's not been taken. The interest and penalties accrue pretty quickly, so let's be sure to get to work on it. As you know, we don't give tax advice, but we will work closely, especially this time of year, with your tax advisor to be sure your plan is on track in this area. So please feel free to connect us with your tax advisor, and we will work together on this. A few quick notes on RMD with the markets down. You can and should be selective in the source of your distributions. This is all about where to take it from. Remember that you need to take the overall amount, but it does not need to come from one place. If you have multiple IRA accounts, they'll all produce RMDs, but you can take them from one of them and satisfy both. Again, this will be something that we'll work with your tax planner on to be sure that everything is accounted for correctly. Pun intended. Okay, more on that in coming weeks. Just stay tuned and stay in touch about that. As for student loan relief plans, first of all, as the video from a few weeks ago said after this after this was released, said this is not, I repeat, this is not a political commentary on the loan program. If you agree with it or don't agree with it, that's up to you. What I want to do is give you the tools to operate in the lines and take advantage of the plan if you can. Each of us who has a loan each of you who has a loan or who knows of someone who has a loan, you have your own circumstances. So if you want to review them, please call me. We can do that. This is a moving target. Most of the applications and details haven't even been released yet, but we can go over some of the key points. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, key points that made the news are: if you are an individual and your income is less than $125,000, or your joint income for married couples is less than $250,000, you should qualify for debt cancellation for up to $10,000 in loans and up to $10,000 in Pell Grants. In addition to this, the moratorium on payments on existing debt is extended, they say a final time, through December 31st of this year. That is what I reported to you last time, and what you hear a lot about. What you may not have heard about is, in my opinion, as important or more important, the income-driven repayment plan and the forgiveness plans. The changes that come to this that are coming to this program are truly game changers. What has changed? Until the new plan is in place, your income-driven plan requires the repayment amount to be 10% of your discretionary income. Now, two changes are being made here, both in your favor. First, for undergraduate loans, it will now be 5% of discretionary income, not 10%. It'll be 10% for graduate loans, but that's also down from the current levels. Also in play is the change to the discretionary income calculation. The overall calculation is based on a threshold of income called non-discretionary income that is shielded from being used for loan repayments. That number will be 225% of the federal poverty level. This also means that any borrower that makes the equivalent of a $15 hourly minimum wage or less will not have any payments on the loan under this plan. Overall, this means that many people just getting started will not have any payments due under the new plan if your income is low. If the plan as it is and has been, if your income-based payment did not cover the interest, and this is a big one, and I've seen this on a few plans, your non-covered interest is added to the loan principal. This effectively puts people on a hamster wheel to never get this debt paid. This has been changed. As long as the monthly payments are made, and remember, as I just said, they may be zero, the loan will not accrue interest. As you can imagine, this is a huge change. The other main change is that in the past plan, if you made payments on the loans with original balances of $12,000 or less, you could make that income-based payment for 20 years and then the loan would be forgiven. That's also been cut in half to 10 years. So as you can see, there are some added adjustments that are real game changers in this plan. if this affects you, I recommend you head to the Department of Education website and subscribe to the update email, www.ed.gov/subscriptions. I'm happy to discuss this with you. If you think you may be eligible, note that, as I said, a lot of this information is not even available yet. They hope to have it out by the end of the year, so stay tuned. For now, I'll be back in the coming weeks to go over the plans for Q4 and what we need to do by the end of the year. Please engage with me when you can to wrap up another crazy year and make sure we address all the things that we need to do for your plan. Come back Monday for another market update video. Have a great weekend.